All right. If you're just joining us, which you should be, this is the beginning of the show. So this is when you should be joining us. This is Ruix Podcast 2.0, episode number 7. These are my notes. And you know what? I've been hearing from people, specific people, you know who you are, that maybe I should stop looking at my notes. Maybe, maybe you should just be yourself and talk. I'm going to put it away. When did, all these people in my life suddenly become experts on podcasting? That's what I want to know. But, all right, I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to put them away, okay? So, Dave Hansen, you know who you are.
Dave, for one, I have notes.
Yeah. But I'm not going to disallow my guests to have notes. Speaking of said guest, today it's a good friend, Ben Dunegan. How are you, buddy?
It's good to see you.
Yep.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. How was your 4th, man? We're just coming off the 4th of July weekend, and what'd you do?
All right. So on the 3rd, I met up with a friend of mine, and we had a little cookout.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice.
Very good.
My buddy Adrian. Shout out Adrian. And then
Adrian.
Hung out with James Riley afterwards.
Love that guy. Former guest.
Mm-hmm. And then on the 4th, just a little hike. And then over the weekend, we had the Shakes played at this private barn party for our buddy Garrett for his birthday, and it was nuts, as it was last year. Fireworks, beverages, live music, and just a lot of hangs.
That's great, man. Yeah, that's
what
my weekend was like too. Weirdly, a bunch of people from friends of mine from out of town, Minneapolis, Denver. I just came in for. I didn't know everybody was such a 4th of July fan. I mean, how can't you be? It's America's birthday, right? But
it's the best stuff, grilling out, fireworks, blowing things up.
Exactly, the middle of summer. I mean, so one of the fireworks that we were supposed to see got canceled because it was supposed to rain because the rain has been so ignorant this year.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't rain one bit. And those are the country club fireworks. Mm-hmm. They were pushed to the next night, I believe, Saturday night. Friday night. But I couldn't come to that because we had First Fridays here at Smokestack. But anyways, back to you. Thanks for being here. Glad to see you. We talked about doing this couple times earlier in the year, and just hadn't worked out. But you're finally here. Weren't you just on tour, or you just put out a record or something?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Refresh me.
Yeah, just put out a record called "Wither on the Vine." Shout out to my buddy John Purvis, Addison Aronson, and Randy for helping me record it. And then also we are going to be doing a show on Friday at the Town Clock with as a full band. So it's kind of a nice full circle moment where they were a really instrumental part of recording it, and now we're getting all together and performing the songs.
Rad.
For Friday at the Town Clock, we're opening up for Jolton Mayfield and Future Crib. So
okay, so
it's
that
going to be a
good
good time. Mm-hmm.
Music under the Town Clock this Friday. What is that date?
That is the 12th.
12th.
We'll be at 5 o'clock.
And they're doing that all summer long, right? On the
once a month.
The first? Is it the first Friday of the month or the second? Something like that.
It's something like that. It's first or second.
So I remember they did it last month, but
yeah, it was great. Elizabeth Moen.
Tell us.
And Stefan.
Oh yes, Stefan was there with
Crushed
Bob Bucko. All former guests of this podcast,
That's
by
right.
the way.
That's right.
I pull in the heavies. Tell us about Ben. Where'd you grow up? You from Dubuque? What's the story here?
So I grew up in this small farming community called Applington, which is a half hour west of Cedar Falls, Waterloo.
Okay.
My family went to church, so that's how I got into like learning about harmonies and singing. And then when I was like 12 or 13, I got to be a part of like the band too. So
The church band.
the church band.
Okay.
So, I got a chance to like learn like how to like actually play with people and how to listen and how to find things that fit. Cause like by that time I was in like band and in choir, but in the school context, there aren't very many opportunities to learn how to improvise and to learn how to listen. So I'm glad I got both of those things. Learning in school, getting like a semi-formal education in like reading music, but also having the application of like, okay, so how do I apply all of these things into a live context where I don't have sheet music written out
Right.
for
okay.
me? So I'm really glad for that. I think it's important. There are many people that either know very, very well how to read music and how to apply it to their instrument, but don't know how to improvise. And then there are those who like can fully improvise, but they don't understand the structure that they're working on. So I think it's important to have both, basically.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm one of those. I never learned to read music. I played drums. I mean, you don't really need to, but yeah, I think you're right. So you would credit getting your start in the church with, sort of teaching you the basics of
like,
playing in a live band.
How to apply things.
Yeah.
Because I got a drum set in 5th grade, and I was terrified of it for at least a year.
Is that what you started with, drums?
Yeah.
Okay.
Started with drums. Well, piano with my
first.
my mom. My mom taught me for maybe like 4 or 5 weeks when I was 6.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm glad I had that.
Yeah.
I am really glad I had that.
Yeah.
But then, school band, school choir, and then, of course, just growing up in the church, learning harmonies, learning how to add drum parts to, like, worship songs and whatnot.
Okay, so you sang some gospel then, too, in there.
In church,
Yeah.
just, like, as the collective, not really up front.
Not solo. Okay.
Yeah, not often. Just once, and it was... I don't like to think of it.
Oh, come on, tell the story. Give me a exclusive.
I got. There's this song called "Awesome God."
Okay,
and
Our God is an Awesome God.
Yep.
I know
I
that
had
tune.
I had to sing like the verses for it.
How do
and
I
it
know
was-
that tune? I feel like at Sageville when I was in 5th grade, we must have
God is
sang.
an awesome God.
Yeah, I totally know that
absolutely. Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Go on. Sorry. I was just,
Yeah. I don't know. I got corralled into singing it. Yeah. And I didn't enjoy doing that.
no.
No.
But
I
you
did
like
not.
doing the harmonies. You like playing
Love it.
other instruments, piano, drums, what have you.
Yeah.
When did the guitar and the songwriting come
Oh,
along?
yeah. Good question. So my great-grandma had a guitar that was at her house. That was her husband's, who had passed away.
Okay.
This
This is a grandfather you never knew?
Yeah, my great-grandfather that I had only remembered from like an early age, like visiting in the nursing home.
Okay,
But-
gotcha.
But I got to like borrow his guitar, and that's how I learned, was just like off the internet, learning tabs and chord shapes and whatnot.
Okay, cool.
And then like being able to like apply some of the things I had learned from drums, and then also like I was like by 7th grade, me and some friends had already started our own band.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, learning off the internet and from seeing them play too, like helped me learn how to do that. I was terrible with a pick, so I was really, really stuck on like finger picking. And I really enjoyed that. And that's in part what got me into folk music too. But my mom was also a big like Mamas and the Papas fan.
Oh, me
Peter,
too.
Paul and Mary.
Nice.
Like the early 60s like folk scene.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of like what we were listening to in the house.
Yeah.
And then a lot of like contemporary country from like the 90s. So like Garth Brooks, and then my dad liked like Van Halen.
Okay. Wow.
AC/DC.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there. Got some shred in there. That's good.
Yep. Little
And,
shred.
a little side note. I think, like when the 90s '90s pop country was happening, I thought there's no way country could get worse than this. And now it's like, I mean, given like, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody that might actually listen or watch this, but like your Morgan Wallens and your Luke Bryans and stuff. I mean, that makes like Garth Brooks. And by the way, I never thought I actually kind of always like Garth Brooks, but like your Travis Tritts and your stuff like that, it makes them look like Merle Haggard. Honestly, like,
yeah,
these guys, like I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's like date rape country or something. I don't know. You know, like it's horrible. Anyway, that's
There's
me
so
editorializing.
much good stuff from that era, the late '80s into the mid '90s.
Oh, I would
There's
agree.
so
I
much
would,
good stuff.
but there's a lot of bad
Alabama.
stuff too. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Glenn Black,
but
George
honestly,
Strait.
the worst stuff from that era is so much better than
leagues.
the best stuff from this era.
Yep, leagues better.
Again,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm just editorializing here, but anyway. So, were your family very musical? Your parents did
My
they
mom,
play?
especially. My mom was very musical. She plays violin, piano, sings.
Okay. Do you play violin or any other strings?
No, no
That shit's
violin.
hard.
I cannot learn how to use a bow. I've tried. I've taken lessons in cello.
Yeah.
It is my favorite instrument.
Yeah.
It is amazing. But
yeah, amazing.
I cannot use a bow. My hand cramps up.
Really?
I'm just like, can't do this. But yeah, my mom, she's musical. She can sing. I love my mom because like I'm very similar to her in that she will acquire hobbies, and then she'll go on this cycle of hobbies where it's like, I'm going to do this for like 3 months, and then I'm going to go and get bored with that and then move on to another one and do the exact same thing, but it always circles back to the same hobbies.
Okay.
So she's always like progressively getting bigger or better at things.
A thing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
So-
what are the 5 hobbies?
Okay, gardening.
Okay.
Right now it's cross stitch.
Okay.
Which she's making something really cool out of that.
Yeah.
And it'll be like different varieties of like yarn and crocheting and
Yeah. Knitting,
all of
stuff like that. Sure.
Exactly. Yeah, and then every once in a while it is music. When I was a kid, it was definitely music a lot.
Okay.
I'm unsure how much is going on right now with that, but
Yeah.
But yeah. At least on my mom's side, like they're pretty musical. My grandma shreds on the piano.
Does she really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, she shreds.
And what about on your dad's side?
Not too much. I know both of my uncles. They play guitar.
Okay.
They play guitar. Yep. So a little bit of music. For me, I do want to say that like I don't believe in talent when it comes to music. I know that seems
Well,
pretty
what do you mean by
crazy.
that, though?
Yeah, great question. Well, I think to learn how to acquire skills with music or really anywhere, it takes just time. It takes a level of just, I want to say like figuring out a way to practice well, I think is really, really important. So for example, it's like if I'm going to go and just work on a specific phrase in a song, it's
Yeah.
easier to just go and like figure out what the issue is in itself rather than playing through 16 measures of something and then like hitting the one problem after you go and play for 16 measures.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
It does.
Yeah, if you go and work on the thing and know how to work on the thing, then you're going to be better off.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're just advocating for practice makes perfect.
Practice does
basically.
make perfect.
Yeah,
Well,
I would
perfect
agree.
perfect practice makes perfect.
You're saying you
know?
don't necessarily believe in like natural or like born with talent, like or like
not at all.
You have to cultivate it.
Yeah, you got to cultivate it.
Absolutely, I
Yeah,
would
you
agree
got to
with that.
cultivate it. And you got to just learn how to practice. And then I think one thing that's really important is finding an application.
Yeah.
You got to find an application in some way, you know, whether it's drumline or whether it's like finding friends and like getting together and learning how to play together or playing at your church or learning how to write your own songs and getting people to gravitate towards that with you, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Yeah, you just need an application.
that's a good segue into talking about the mentorship, which you were recently involved with as well.
Yeah.
The DAC mentorship. How do you think that went? Like that, I mean,
I loved it.
It was such a great, like a fun, 12 weeks or whatever. And we got some really great talent out of it that like otherwise, like, I don't know, like I was mostly camera, during the whole thing, but like as a strictly observer at the beginning, like a lot of kids came out of their shells and sort of came together.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel that went?
Yeah, I think it was really incredible to see the kids from like week 1 to like week 4, like learn how to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And to see them like, oh yeah, why don't we go and let's try to work on this specific part of a song, and having like the kids just do it, where it's like, oh yeah, like the chorus felt kind of iffy. Let's go and play through that again.
Yeah.
Just having the communication skills developed to find an issue and then figure out a way to work through it together was like really, really great.
Yeah.
And like us as mentors, it was just like facilitation, like I'm here, you tell me what to do. And then if you don't know what to do, we can go and like talk about it.
Yeah.
And then like, let's try this out. So it was really rewarding to just see like that sort of growth, the communication growth, and then also to just see them enjoy playing with each other, was like really, really great. I was happy to see like my 2 drum students, Keegan and Seth, involved too, because they're great talents, and it was really cool to just see them go beyond just like private lessons.
Yeah, I would agree. And Keegan's solo stuff, I mean, sort of facilitated you and I getting to play together for the first time. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And Bob.
Yeah.
And that little last minute, ensemble was really fun. But another thing that's really cool about that was Keegan and Evan, 2 former mentors, are now playing together in a different band.
That's
and
right.
they didn't even play in the mentorship together. So it's cool that they made all these connections, even though, not all of them necessarily. I mean, I think some of the bands are still doing, some of the bands that actually performed that night are actually still doing stuff or working on stuff anyway. But other bonds were formed out of it. I think that's, it was pretty cool. It was a really special couple of weeks there.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, I mean, we'll get a good documentary out of it. I got to start editing that footage together soon.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that's my cross to bear. So tell me about growing up in the Cedar Falls scene. Before, because you mentioned that you were from outside of Cedar Falls. Well, first of all, when did you move to Dubuque? Like, when did you sort of migrate here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in that Cedar Valley area, and then I moved to Dubuque for college in 2009. I went to Emmaus Bible College. So that's where I went. Yeah.
What is
that tiny
the
place.
Fifth College.
Yeah, the fifth.
Is
the
it
fifth college. Yeah.
I mean, it's really a 3-college town, but then you got to count.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to talk shit. I went to NICC, but I was going to call it Harvard on the highway because that's what all people. I went there though. I have a fucking associate's degree from NICC. It's a great school.
That's good.
Then
it's a
Emmaus
great
Bio.
school.
I knew a couple of Emmaus students too.
No way.
Well, no, actually, just one. A guy named Bart. He's probably years ahead of you, so I don't know if you'd know each other. But
no, probably not.
I don't want to say any, last names in case he doesn't want to, whatever, be associated. So I'll ask you about him later. But okay. Anyway, go on. Yeah. So you came here for Bible college.
Yep, for Bible college. That's right.
So you're a religious guy, kind of.
Well, I was.
Are you still?
I sure was. I'm not any longer.
Okay, not any longer. Is that something you want to reflect on, or not on mic?
My grandma's gonna see this.
Okay, we'll circle back to that.
I love you, Grandma. But I grew up in the Cedar Valley. When I was in 7th grade, a bunch of friends also got instruments.
Okay.
So we were all like, let's start a band.
Yeah.
So what we did was we created a band that had 2 drummers, 5 guitarists and then a bass player. And then very quickly, the people who couldn't play instruments were weeded out. And then
That's a good way to start a band.
Yeah. Then the band became
Process of elimination.
It's like, oh, yeah, you didn't get any better. So yeah, that quickly whittled into 2 guitarists, bass and drums, and then we became the Freshmen. That was the name of our band.
Okay.
And then what we would do is we would play shows at the Reverb in Cedar Falls when that existed. That turned into Spicoli's, which now no longer exists either. But we would play shows there.
R.I.P. Spicoli's, R.I.P.
Yep, R.I.P.
Reverb.
R.I.P. But that, being exposed to the Reverb, got me obsessed with going to local shows.
Okay.
At like 14. So with the rules in Cedar Falls, I'm unsure if they're still like this, but as a minor, I could get an X on my hand, and then I could go and see a show and stay there until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, nice.
So I was going to shows like pretty consistently by 14. So I'd see like, I don't know, like local and regional bands like the Beat Strings, Teddy Boys. There was some band called Nil 8 that I don't know where they were from, but they were like a regional touring band. Yeah, like in different projects that locals were doing in the Cedar Valley. And that was like really, really great to see. Like, oh yeah, like these guys are like 5 years older than me, and they're creating and performing their own music.
Totally. So we're talking like early 2000s, something like that?
Yeah, probably like,
early mid.
Yeah, probably like 2005.
Okay.
Were like the first shows I went to.
Nice.
So that was like really cool, and that created a passion for me, like concerning like local music and like the scene that's happening in different places. So, but yeah, I went to a lot of like local shows. My band would play at those shows.
What was the band at this point?
The Freshmen.
Oh, you're the Freshmen.
Yeah,
still.
we
Okay,
were. We were together from.
This
like
was the one that was a big
grade.
band, and it was whittled down.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, from 7th grade until we graduated high school.
Okay,
we were
cool.
together. Yep, doing shows. And
Wow.
And we put out 2 albums.
Are those available anywhere?
No, I wish I could find them. I don't have any physical copies.
I don't have anything from my first couple of bands.
And that was all honestly. Like MySpace era.
MySpace.
Yeah.
Oh man, MySpace is still there though. You can go find it.
I looked this afternoon.
Really?
Can't find it. It's some good tunes.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first band, Burnt Toast, we had some good tunes too.
What a name. There we go.
That demo is long gone. It was on a cassette recorded by sometime Smokestack sound guy Laird Scott.
Laird. Shout out Laird.
Shout out Laird back in the 90s. 91, 2, something like that. Yeah.
Dang.
5 songs. I think 4 of them were Alice in Chains covers. No, that's not true. We had a couple originals, but most of them were covers. Yeah, something like that. But anyways.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
Yeah. I love local music.
Yeah, man.
I love it. And
it's special. You know, it's when it's good, it's awesome. You know, even when it's bad, it's awesome. You know,
That's
it's just
right.
like
it's brave.
It's your community.
Yeah, and it's your community, exactly. It's brave to put yourself out there like that.
It is. That's what the you know. That's what it's all about. Absolutely.
Yeah, just being authentic. Like, this is the stuff I made.
Yeah.
If you like it, cool. If you don't, that's fine.
That's fine too. I'm still gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. So let's see, Cedar Falls, Cedar Valley. I had fantastic band and choir directors too.
Okay.
So like I want to shout out Mrs. Cavalier, Mr. Wessel, Mr. Winky, and Tom Mahler was.
These were all mentors of yours, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they saw something in me, and also like. When I was a sophomore, I broke my thumb, so I decided that like sports were no longer going to be a thing.
Okay.
Broke my thumb in football practice.
Okay, so you did play sports too.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, ran track, played soccer.
Yeah.
Football, wrestling. Yeah, I did sports, and then
I never would have guessed that.
yeah,
Not you know,
What? You
for
see
no
this body right here.
Well, yeah, okay, fine, but that's for no other reason other than because I love sports too. I tried to play baseball. I think in junior high.
Yeah.
I sucked at it. I'm really much better at sitting home and watching it, and playing MLB 2K or whatever. Like
that is also great.
Yes, I was never good at playing them.
Same.
Except for badminton. I fucking ruled at badminton.
Dude, I played badminton this weekend at that
Did
barn
you?
party.
Dude, amazing.
Sucked.
I bet I would suck now, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this shit.
I can't backhand to save my life.
I used to have a mean backhand. But I don't know. I probably couldn't play it for shit now. But
Yeah.
Anyway. But okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
did
So you did
sports.
have, some interest outside of music and,
Yeah.
but anyway, tell me about the injury.
Yeah, I broke my thumb in football practice.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we ran this drill where I'm supposed to like run at a bag and then throw my arm at the bag
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of like push past the bag. But when I contacted the bag, I threw my arm too high and my helmet hit this bone right here.
Yeesh.
And then the impact from that with the bag at the same time just like smashed my thumb and broke it like clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got goosebumps.
Yeah. Oh, awful. And I
bet.
so then I couldn't practice football.
Yeah.
And then with drums, it's like I just put the stick in the knuckle and got these ridiculous like I don't know. What are those called, huh? Like blisters. Yeah. Ridiculous blisters. And then I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make sure I never break a finger ever again.
Yeah.
So I quit
Because then you
doing
can't do
sports.
either one.
That's right.
That's,
Yeah. So that was like a big turning point for me. And I wasn't particularly great at sports. I could like run really fast in a straight line. That's about all I had. That's about all I had.
That's a lot. I mean, in football it is anyway. In soccer,
I couldn't catch.
then you rush. I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, that was a big turning point for me where I was like, yeah, I need to like continue to invest in music because it is something that I will do my entire life.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided like, all right, no more sports. I'm going to just like double down on music. So, I did like all-state choir for 3 years, all of the solo ensemble things I could do with band and choir too. I'm grateful for that too because it like helped me work on technique for both singing and for playing percussion.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, I think that the technique is important, So yeah, that was kind of like the Cedar Falls experience was just like being in school, also being in a band, and then probably still playing at church too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were still playing in church at this point as well?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
from
cool.
13 until, or 12, 13 to when I graduated.
Okay.
At 18.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you ever
Yeah.
still go back there and just be like,
No.
can I sit in, guys?
No.
No?
No, I haven't been back since 2011, maybe.
Maybe it's
something
because
like
you
that.
turned your back on Jesus.
Maybe that's why.
I'm
Maybe
sorry.
that's it.
No, okay, so Dubuque scene then. That is that where a sort of kind of
I love it. Yes.
sort of segues into that?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I know I think, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, we met sort of in the late 2000s, maybe early
Gosh, I bet
2010s. Maybe.
I bet you sometime early 2010s. You were on my radar by like 2012.
Yeah, okay.
2013, I bet.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of like, I'd been hanging out at Monk's since probably 2009.
Gotcha.
But I didn't really communicate a whole lot with people there until I started like detangling myself from Emmaus.
Yeah.
So that would have been like 2012, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. than me trying to like slowly get myself into the community, this arts community.
Oh, yeah, okay.
here
Yeah,
in
for
Dubuque.
sure.
Yeah.
2013, that was like, I mean,
Arenell.
Monks, Arenell, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything was kind of explosive then. Like,
Oh, yeah.
lots. I think was right on the tails of. Well, my record store had closed by then, I think, but was Off Minor still? No, I think Off Minor. I think
I'd been
Arenell
to
kind of
one
replaced
show.
Off
Yeah,
Minor.
I went to one show at Off Minor. I forgot
Okay.
about this. There
Yeah.
was a Cedar Falls metalcore band that I did a tour with.
You played with them?
And I did not. I did lights for them.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes, I did lights.
And they played at Arenell?
They played at Off Minor.
Or that's right, yeah.
They played at Off Minor. I think it was like with Wretches, if I remember correctly, but the band was called A Past Unknown from Cedar Falls. And
Oof, I don't remember
Yeah.
that name.
Yeah.
I remember Wretches, sort of. But
Yep, yeah, that
or at
was
least
like Alex
remember the flyer.
Bauman, Rocky Heim.
Yeah, okay, that's
I
right.
can't remember who else. But yeah, maybe Alan Jackson.
That could be.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And a past
Slug.
unknown.
Yeah, metalcore. So I did a full U.S. tour
Yeah.
with them in 2010.
Wow. Just doing lights?
Yep, just doing lights.
Wow.
Yep.
You ever sit in or anything?
Nope.
No?
No.
Were they Christian?
Yep.
Were they?
Absolutely.
It sounds kinda like-
Absolutely. Yep. It was cool to like be on the road for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, kind of see what that's all about. We were on. It was like a month. I
A
think,
month?
A month straight.
Yeah, dude,
we
that's
drove
a-
probably 15,000 miles.
Was that your first time out?
Yes, first
In a
time.
music capacity, somewhat. Mm-hmm.
Yep, first time out. Just getting
Okay.
to see that. Not getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. No per
Just-
diem. Just like in the van.
Oh, man.
In Arizona in
Yeah.
the summer. Yeah.
Rolling did the same thing for my old band, the Wild Animals, went on like a 2-week tour, and he just came along. He's like, "I'll pay my own way. I'll just sell merch for you guys."
Yep. Yep.
And I'm like, "Okay." And honestly, dude, I think I kind of talked about that band last podcast. Even I don't want to talk shit, but I don't talk to that guy anymore because he's a little wacky. But I'm so glad that Jonn was with me on that tour because, he was invaluable. Anyways, go on.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tour. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We basically had like this funny, like homemade, we had this like funny homemade like electrical box that was basically made out of plywood. And then there were like 4 like household, like light switch faders that
Oh,
were
that's
on there
fun.
that controlled controlled floodlights.
Okay,
which
that's cool.
they draw a ton of power.
Oh, I'm
They
sure.
draw a ton of power.
Yeah.
So I had blown 2 circuit breakers at 2 separate places
No
with
shit.
that because of the amount of power that they were 1,000 watts or 1,500 watts like
Wow.
per light.
Wow.
So it looked cool when it worked, because you'd go and put the floodlights somewhere, on top of the amps or behind the drum set, and then I was able to like fade things in and out and change like the level of intensity.
Right.
Because I know like Telekinetic Yeti was using those the floodlights. There was this Iowa City band called Followed by Ghosts. That was a post-rock instrumental
I
band.
vaguely remember them.
Yeah, they had this like really cool floodlight situation too. So we
Okay.
were like, let's go and do that.
Nice.
So, yeah, but I just
But you blew some fuses in the
tripped
process.
some circuit breakers.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So would it be Kayak Jones would be the first Dubuque like real band that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
That would be the first real like Dubuque band that I had been a part of.
Okay, so-
absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So the Yeti guys
Mm-hmm.
were doing their own little like house venue for a little bit called the Munch Mansion.
How do I not remember that? When was this?
This was 2015.
2015.
Yeah, 2015,
I was
2016.
here then. I don't. Okay.
Yeah. But I got booked to play like an opener set for
Okay.
that. So for me to like, play my tunes. And then I think both Tyler and Brandon were there. And then they had, after the show, they had like chatted with me and asked me to, like, oh, yeah, we're kind of building something. Would you be interested in playing bass or drums.
Okay, so you had already. Okay, so maybe I'm skipping ahead.
Oh, okay.
From doing lights for a past unknown to
You remembered that. That's impressive.
I can't believe I
It
did.
was so impressive.
to you're writing and making and write like playing solo or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the bridge there?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so that would be between 2010 and 2015.
Okay.
Around like 2013 or 2014, I had started like doing little solo shows around town, doing
Okay.
like both covers and then doing like some original tunes,
Okay.
just around town. Probably like opening at the Lift and
Monks.
Yep.
Here and
yeah,
there.
little things like that.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I saw one of those. One
Yeah.
of those early solo shows. I feel like I did anyway.
Yeah,
But,
and I released like my first full length in 2015 or 2016.
okay, so even before Kayak Jones, you had a solo album
Yep,
out or
yep.
a couple.
Yep, that's
Okay.
right. Yep. And then I got introduced to those guys, and initially I wanted to play drums, and then
Well, that's where you started.
I knew, yeah.
Why not?
I was like, this is comfy. But yeah, I just the decision was made for me to play bass, and that was awesome. It was
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
That's
it was
cool.
really great playing with those guys and writing music. And Brandon is an incredible drummer.
Yeah.
Still is. Blakely.
Brandon Blakely.
Incredible.
I don't think I ever
Shout
got
out.
to see you guys.
Shout out. Yeah, we did do this huge Hollywood show. There was a massive Hollywood show in like 2017 for one of the EP releases.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the one before Matter, but yeah.
Yeah, I did not live here then, so
shoot, that's
I think
too
I
bad.
missed it
That was
all, but
that was
like-
crazy. 120 people
I
there.
mean, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Hollywood's
awesome.
such a fun venue too. Like I've only just seen a couple of things there, and most of them, or like all of them recently. But what a special place,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. Shout out to Jason Hankel.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And Casey before
Casey
him, Casey
Hinderman.
Hinderman.
That's right.
Dude's awesome. Okay, cool. So
Yeah, join that band.
one thing leads to that band, or the solo shows lead to you joining that band. And we were talking before the show, I guess, about just come on. I just called out Dave Hansen, so
Oh
you
yeah,
might
I
as
forgot
well talk
about,
that
Luxury
band.
Lungs. Yeah, that's
Luxury
with,
Lungs, that's a
Ryan
great
Werner. Yep, and Dave Hansen.
Yep, basically
Yeah.
half of Legal Fingers plus you,
Yeah.
Luxury Lungs. Again, not a band I ever saw. Did they ever play live?
Yeah, we played like 3 times. It
Three
was great. I
times,
think
no
all of them
record.
at Monks. No record.
All of them at Lung. Okay. Never got to see it
We have basically 90% of a record done
with Matt.
as of with Werner. Just him
Oh, Werner
recording.
recorded it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's been done since that's been at that position since like 2017.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. We have
2018?
2 albums and an EP of Legal Finger stuff
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
It just needs to come out, and like none of us, I don't know, we're just never in the same zip code.
Oh, I see.
One of them I think we should just do because Matt recorded it, but I don't know. There's like an EP where I wrote all the songs. It was going to be called the Party Eagle EP.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh well. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it though. That's I'm trying to say. I get like sometimes you fucking leave shit like
Yeah.
on the doorstep or whatever. Like undone. Like unfinished work.
It's gonna get done at some point. It might
Okay.
be 10 years from now, but yeah, we did like a shoegaze thing. I played drums and sang. Dave was on bass. Werner was on a synthesizer and guitar, just making crazy sounds.
Dave played synthesizer.
Not Dave.
Oh.
Werner did.
Oh, Werner
I would
did.
have
Oh,
loved to
I
have
thought you
seen
said Dave
Dave
did.
do some synth.
Yeah, me too.
absolutely.
I just
Yeah.
started like within the last couple of years started fucking with synths, and I
Dude,
really like
so
it. I'm not
fun.
good at it yet, but I'm working on it. When I was in film school and I wanted to I didn't want to pay for diegetic music. I just make my own or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And, it was usually just a few tones here and there or whatever. But, it was fun. It's fun messing with that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with Kayak Jones, I was in that band for maybe 2.5 years, I bet.
Right.
We had released there were 2 EPs that I was a part of. Yeah,
Gotcha.
and that was really, really cool doing the recording process with them. But
So I guess I thought that band was a bigger, it was more your baby, but it wasn't.
oh no,
You were
not
just
at
in
all.
it.
That
Okay.
was Tyler and Brandon's baby.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
big time. Big
My
time.
mistake.
Really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah,
great
definitely. I
songs.
mean,
really great songs, great people. We had a lot of fun on tours too.
yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time. You got any crazy tour stories?
Oh, geez. Most of them involve, fighting with either Aaron or, Bob or somebody like that,
Yeah, you got
not
it.
talking to each other for like a day or two. Let's see. Yeah. There was one time where we were driving around in Kent, Ohio, and we look out the back of the van, and there's just money flying around in the street. It's a 3-lane, and I think that was the wild animal story, actually, Nick, because now that I think about it, it was Rolling that yelled it. He's like, there's money everywhere. So we stop and we get out. We're 3 days into the tour. We get out and we're just grabbing it. And there's other people grabbing it. So it's not like we're yeah, maybe it was greasy to get out of this and just grab all this money and not give it back, or turn it in somewhere. But we're on tour, we're starving, and we got it wasn't crazy. It was I don't know, $200 or something. We're like, go, 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 go. So that was pretty cool. I don't know.
Just money falling from the sky.
Yeah, it was just floating around, and we were definitely not the only vehicle grabbing money and just driving off with it. So.
Cool. Free money.
Way she goes.
Can't top that. That's crazy.
What about you?
Oh, man. Probably the most ridiculous thing I saw was this was my first tour with Kayak, and we were touring with this guy. His stage name is Bogues, and he's from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So we started the tour in Murfreesboro and then ended it in Murfreesboro over maybe a 10 to 14 day tour.
Gotcha.
So we take a turn. We're done with this. We're exhausted. We're just finally done in Murfreesboro. We take a turn at 3 a.m. to get on the street that Bogues lives on. And I see these red and blue lights in the distance on this residential street.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, okay, something's going on. We see this car just fly past us. And at the end of this T intersection, on this side, there's a Taco Bell. So this car flies down at maybe 50 miles an hour, doesn't take the turn right, and then smashes into this Taco Bell.
Oh, man.
I think into this Taco Bell sign. That's right out the front.
So not the building.
Not the building, luckily.
Gotcha.
And then 20 cop cars just after this guy.
Okay.
But this guy ends up having his car basically start igniting. So there's fire and stuff. And the cops, of course, are guns drawn. They're you got to get down. This guy ends up getting electrocuted, with the freaking, zap gun, the stun gun. And then we're just there, just watching this entire thing take place.
Yeah.
Just insanity.
Oh, is it post-show or pre-show?
Post-show.
Okay.
Yep, post-show.
So late. Yeah,
Late. Because we were
pretty late,
done.
2
We
in
were
the morning.
done. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that might be
Dude.
up there. That might be way up there.
Yeah.
I went missing for a little bit. But I
All
don't
right,
want.
you're gonna have
I'm
to
not
explain
gonna.
that.
I'm not gonna. I took a.
What do you mean you're not gonna? You can't say that.
I
and
took
then
a lot
say,
of
"Oh, I can't
vitamins.
tell you the story though.
So on this first tour, I took a lot of vitamins.
Yeah.
On our first show,
Vitamins.
on
No,
the
I'm just
first
kidding.
night.
Go ahead.
And I started feeling really weird.
Okay.
And then I found a couch that was at this house venue that was outside in the backyard. So
Okay.
I go and I crawl between the couch and then like all of these bushes that are there in this backyard, and I just stay there for 2, 3, 4 hours. Just like, I don't feel very good. I don't want to be seen. Let me just like take care of this.
Oh, man.
Basically. And then I start hearing people call my name, and those voices don't sound familiar, so I'm not gonna like respond.
Oh, man.
So everybody's freaking out because we're in a town that we're not familiar with.
You're that guy in the
And
band.
I'm that guy. And I'm that
Jesus
guy on this
Christ.
very first tour,
Yeah.
our very first show.
Oh,
I
man.
go find myself missing. Yeah, absolutely. They
So
found me.
they
found
They
me.
found you. How long did it take them though?
Yeah, like 3 hours.
3 hours.
I bet you
dude.
like 3 hours
Man.
missing. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So that's my personal.
this was pre-show.
This was after. Luckily.
okay,
This
good.
is luckily because we played and then I took some vitamins.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were these vitamins?
Yeah, Flintstones.
Okay.
Yeah, the chewables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
took too
guess I've
many.
had a couple of wild, rowdy
took
nights on Flintstones vitamins.
Yeah. Yeah, too much
Okay.
vitamin C. Absolutely. So that is my most embarrassing tour story,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh well,
Yeah.
that shit happens.
Love tour. There's
Yeah,
nothing
me
like the
too.
community that is developed that's like all over the country,
Yeah.
wherever you're
Indie
staying
rock.
at.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
You're
just
right.
like, oh yeah, like I know this guy, Oh, cool. Like if you're ever in this town, like I know somebody. Or if you're
Yeah.
in my town, like I'll host you, Just
Yeah.
that whole community all over the country that's got this, it's a network, you
Yeah,
know.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
It's like
that's
support.
that kind of shit. Like I like stand-up comedy's like that too.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that I kind of miss. And like another thing that we were talking about before the mics were on is like that I haven't been really active playing music lately, but that's one thing that'll most likely bring me back at some point is like missing that kind of stuff. Like the camaraderie that comes with like playing each other's towns and booking each other's bands at venues that we know. Like
Yeah.
it's always fun, and I don't know, like I do miss a lot of that, and so one day,
That's right. That's right.
it's gonna happen.
It's still going to be there. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just
That's
taking a
it.
breather, Ben. That's all.
right, man.
That's all it is.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
It's nice to take breaks.
Yeah, you need to once in a while because, like I just had a run of things that weren't exactly the most pleasant, and it's like, all right, I'm trying to work on this now. This, like in, just think like. Film school, like I want to do some film stuff, maybe focus on that kind of shit, and it's just like one iron in the fire at a time, like trying to figure out other things that I might be okay at,
What do you think of like doing one thing creatively will inspire other like avenues creatively? So for example, I love photography. If I'm not feeling music, I'll go and take pictures.
Yeah.
And then that seems to stimulate me wanting to write music.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah. I would say that applies to me as well. Yeah. I mean, just talking to dudes like you, like, and not all dudes, you know what I mean, but like telling, like sharing stories like this, just it prompts me to want to play again and like create, write music again. Making films makes me like gives me ideas for musical cues and stuff like that. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, definitely. Like I would say one thing, in almost any case, like one thing will prompt another idea or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You know who's really good at that?
Who's that?
Dean Wellman.
Yeah.
Dean kind of is good at everything, but he goes through phases,
Yeah, that's true.
Where he'll do music for a bit, crush it, and then make a film,
That's
you
true.
know,
We're both looking in the same direction.
Yeah,
Dean is
we're
actually here watching
yeah.
us. But
I just really respect that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or like get into making stuff out of clay,
Yeah.
which that stuff is incredible.
that's
So,
actually true. Yeah. Give it
Yeah.
up for Dean
Woo!
for being part of this
Dino.
and doing our live stream. Yeah.
I really vibe on
Wonderful,
that.
talented man, that
That's
guy.
right. That's it.
We're talking about doing a spin-off of this podcast that's all about film.
Oh,
So look for that in the coming months, maybe year, something like that.
I love it.
But yeah, it's
You and Dean?
yeah,
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We've been talking about
definitely
it
would
anyway.
tune in for that.
yeah. It should be fun. Don't know if
Yeah.
it'll be live yet, or if it'll be just audio only, or maybe it'll be live. Maybe it'll be like this.
Yeah.
We can do clips. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sky's the
for
limit.
sure.
But
Watch some Godzilla movies.
Yeah, why
you know?
not, you know?
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. I'd tune in for that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like approaching creativity in like a holistic way.
Yeah.
It's like
agreed.
where it's like you go and you just make something,
Mm-hmm.
or like be bad at a new medium and just like see how that feels for you.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And I mentioned stand-up before. I've done a couple open mics and stuff. It's fun, and I don't know if I was ever good at it, but I might still do it because it's exhilarating getting up there
Woo!
and having anyone laugh at you even once.
I really respect comedians.
Yeah, it's
hard.
hard.
Honestly,
It's really hard.
That craft,
Yeah,
and I'm jealous of it. Like the rapport and like the ability to improvise and come up with things to say and observing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Man. Yeah, it's hard.
Jealous
It's
of
hard.
that.
It's also like it takes a certain type of person that can just laugh off like totally bombing or just you know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
oh man, and that's like I don't know if that's me. That's why I never like pursued it like real seriously. But like I don't know. Maybe I will again one day.
Yeah.
I'm still a young man.
Yeah, that's right.
46. Just turned 46
That's
a month
right.
ago. I think I mentioned, because I mentioned I was birthday diva on the last one. So you mentioned photography.
Yeah, I love
any
doing
other
that.
like mediums in art that you're
man.
kind of into, since this is like it's an arts community
Yeah.
that we're involved in?
I like doing photography. It's definitely I'm not at a skill level where I could probably get paid for it
Yeah.
independently, but I really enjoy being like a second shooter for somebody.
Right.
If they're working on any form of like photography or videography project, that's like pretty fun to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like doing photography. I was really into like, at least in high school, I was really into just like pencil and paper, and then also like pastels. Big fan of pastels, but I haven't done that in a very long time. At
Okay.
some point, I'd really like to get into pastels
Do you have
again.
any of your old work?
My parents do.
Yeah.
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 It's all right.
That's
It's
what you
messy, but
Yeah,
it's
but
good
whatever.
ideas,
That's okay.
But yeah, writing, poetry.
Well, yeah, that kind of comes hand in hand. I
It
guess,
does,
with
doesn't it?
songwriting. Yeah, I mean,
I like
it
learning
tends
new
to.
instruments too. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun for me.
What do you think of the guy? What is his name? Brian, that comes down here on the. Have you ever been down here on the all ages open mic on Sundays?
Brian?
I think his name's Brian. He always comes down with like dulcimers and like unique, real
Oh, that's
unique,
cool.
like
Yeah.
worldly instruments. And he just plays them and tells stories about them. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
where he gets them. Like they're always really rad though. Like in usually pretty nice shape too.
Yeah.
I think that's his name. I don't know for sure. I definitely that's where I started hanging out with Kelly, my current girlfriend, and we I saw him do his thing, and I was like, oh, I know that guy from CDs for Change, because he used to come in all the time with his
Oh,
wife
yeah.
and buy record CDs, whatever. And then I saw him up here like playing a, Koto or whatever, Kyoto, and I was like, wow, that's really cool.
It's wild.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and often he doesn't know how to play it. He's like, and he'll admit it right away. He's like, I don't know how to play this, but I think this is the idea anyway. And he'll like at least sort of demonstrate it and still tell stories about it. It's pretty cool. I think
That's
his
cool.
name, Brian. I don't know.
Okay.
So guitar, bass, drums, singing, songwriting.
Yeah.
definitely don't play cello or violin. You made that
No,
clear.
nothing with the bow.
Okay.
That's for sure.
So,
Can't do it.
Like, what else have you learned over the years?
Mandolin,
Keys.
banjo. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you said you started with piano,
Yep.
too.
Yep. Yeah. Dulcimer.
Dulcimer?
Yeah, rip on a dulcimer.
Man, I fucking love the sound of a nice dulcimer.
It's cool.
Hammers? Do you use the hammers or no?
No.
No?
Not a hammer dulcimer.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Just curious.
It's-
What about the,
it's fun.
what do you call that bluegrass? Dobro. You play
Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm not good with the slide either.
No?
Pretty terrible with the slide. Yeah.
That's another sound I really like. It's
sick.
Like a dobro or a nice, lap steel or something.
See, I want to. That's like one of the next ones. I want to learn lap steel, so that'll progress into pedal steel.
That's cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Such a cool sound. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's such a human thing to just like create and learn how to express yourself in different ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether it's visual or auditory or an experience that you can create for other people. I just think that stuff is really cool, and that's why I'm really grateful for like the Dubuque Area Arts Collective for providing like a space for people that can both like do like an art show for their first time
Yeah,
or for their
absolutely.
10th or 20th time. I'm really grateful that every month we get to see something different, or see a band come through town here.
Right.
And watch a show in that way. It's just like, I don't know. I was very caught up when I was in my mid-20s about like, how do I make music profitable?
Yeah.
And now I don't care about that
man, yeah.
at all anymore. And I'm really grateful for that, because it's like, I'm not a commodity. I don't make commodities. Like,
Yeah.
this is beyond capitalism.
Yeah. No,
This
I
is
agree.
beyond that.
Yeah.
This is human experience that
Yeah.
we are sharing with each other.
And it's
So,
not
yeah.
about a dollar,
No, I mean, if I can make a little money, that's great,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not my focus
Right.
any longer, because it is paralyzing because it's so competitive. But to just like not really care about it, but really focus on like the craft of songwriting or performing, and ultimately the relationships you have with people, with your bandmates, with people who enjoy your music, with friends that support you, is really what is like the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Well said. And I mean, growing up in this town, like when I was in high school, I just remember like, the only thing around was like cover bands and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And even well into my teens and 20s, when I was starting out playing originals, like bands that would get all the gigs, like the
Yeah.
paying gigs, would be your cover bands. And it's like,
Yeah, it's still like that.
It's still like that,
And
yeah.
it makes
And,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
At first, I built, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, like resentments toward that. But it's just like, no, man, like that's just not what it's about. It's, gas money's cool, but like if you don't make anything and you just like entertain a room full of people for like, PBR and Old Crow, that's one of the, it's so fun, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
God damn it. Now I'm talking myself into playing again.
This is my plan the entire time. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, I do have a show coming up,
Woo!
Glimmer Blinkin' and Cut
stoked.
Hairs. I'm playing in both of those bands August 23rd.
Double
here.
duty.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Oh yeah.
That's the family band. I agreed to do that one. And, of course, the mentorship stuff, when, a couple of drummers didn't show up one day or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
But that's really all I've agreed to do so far, or committed to do. I shouldn't say agreed, but like,
Yeah.
and it's a low stress, but honestly we just did a Cut Hairs practice the other day, and it was a lot of fun, and I was dreading it all week. I'm like, I gotta be there on, Saturday, and, like I'm tired and I'm stressed and I'm moving and blah, blah, blah. But like once I got here and we started,
Yep.
banging the rust off it, it's fun. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm worried about,
It's the
honestly.
hardest thing though, is just showing up, and then like once you get into that mode of practice, it's like, oh yeah, this feels great.
It does, yeah.
You just got to start playing. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Skinny and the Shakes.
Skinny and
I
the
saw 'em
Shakes.
for the first time at Jerome's party.
Mm-hmm.
Always heard great things, and started following y'all on Instagram. A couple years ago when I still lived in Denver, because you're a buddy. I didn't really know. Well, I knew James, I guess. Didn't really know Chad or
Daniel.
Very well. But yeah, I saw you guys at that East Dubuque show, and you fucking blew me away. That was great.
Thank you.
So talk about that. How did that get started?
Yeah, so that's a band that was started, gosh, I think we might be at almost 2 years by now.
Okay.
But that's with Chad Olson Jr., Daniel Young, and James Riley, and myself. We
You
are
play drums in that band.
I play drums in that band. I would define our sound as a band that transcends genre because it is
Cop out a little bit.
everywhere. It is everywhere.
Yeah, okay,
There are
that's-
funk influences.
That's true.
There's like pop rock,
I can
indie influences.
confirm that.
Soul. Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
and
for
it's really fun. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys you have any records out?
No, we have demos done that we had finished in, gosh, it's been a minute. It's been like February or March.
Okay.
So now I think we're in a point now where we need to just make a decision on like where to record,
Yeah.
and we'll get to that. But yeah, through this summer, it's just been like, a show every, maybe once a month.
Okay.
And that's been fun. Summer gets busy, so.
For sure.
Yeah, we played that barn party I was telling you about earlier.
Right.
That was very, very fun.
That was over the fourth weekend.
Yep, over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fourth weekend, with the Shakes.
Right.
It's a good time. I love how all of us are like on equal footing. It's like a democratic, sort of like functioning of the band.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
like Chad writes songs, James does, I do. Daniel provides bass ideas that are really cool, and we all just get to like, just play with these like little tidbit of ideas and see if we can build something up.
Yeah.
And I really like that, and it's interesting to see how bands function differently. Because I've seen some that are very like, I have an idea, let's go build this idea, rather than like, you go and do this idea that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like little differences in that. And each of them are valid, but it's been like cool to see a really purely collaborative effort like
Badass.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you feel that band is.
Yeah,
That's
it
cool.
feels really good. Maybe it's an issue. I mean, not an issue. Maybe it's just a thing of me like getting a little older.
Sure.
Being a little more willing to share my ideas because I'm not as attached to them anymore. So it's been really cool to just like throw ideas out and be like, let's see if we can make something out of this. If not, that is absolutely all right.
Yeah.
But
Low stress, low maintenance. That's
yeah,
great.
I love it. I love playing with those guys. Yeah, I don't know. I think we got a show in August. I'm not quite sure if that's confirmed yet, so I won't throw a date out yet until we confirm that.
Okay.
But
possible show, skinny
possible show
Skinny
in
Shake
August
show in August.
sometime. Yeah,
This Friday, the 12th. Don't miss.
that's right.
Ben and what do you
And
call that? Is it just your solo?
Ben Dunegan and the Front Loaders.
and the Front Loaders.
The Front Loaders. Yep.
Doing Under the Town Clock this Friday. Anything else to plug? Do you got like a band camp or
Yeah, I mean, I'm selling tapes of Wither on the Vine, physical tapes, cassettes.
Is that Personal Archives putting that out?
No, that's
you-
I need to plug this. That is Jonn Purvis. Jonn Purvis is starting up his own little label.
Oh.
He's starting up his own label. So
Okay.
yeah, he was my dude for not only like recording it
Yeah.
and mixing it, but also doing the physical copies too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Jonn Purvis. Thank you.
So yeah.
Thank you very
also,
much.
the aforementioned Jonn Purvis and I will be hosting
Yes.
Vinyl Tuesday night
I'm
down here
stoked.
at the Smokestack. Yeah,
That's
going to be
great.
fun. That's coming up in, well, soon, a couple weeks. I mean, I'm getting my vinyl collection out of storage, so probably starting in August or late July and going in until whenever. So Tuesdays when we're not doing the podcast, it'll be alternating me and Jonn Purvis. We haven't really come up with a name for the night yet, but
Yeah.
the vinyl countdown, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, actually,
I'm
you know
about
what?
it.
If you're watching, send us a couple of ideas for a name for the final Tuesday night. It's going to be cheap, like probably $1 domestic cans too down here. So drink cheap. Come down and listen to me force my record collection on you, or Jonn Purvis force his record collection on you.
Woo.
Bring something to play. I can't guarantee I'll play it. If you bring something stupid, it's not going to happen. But let's see. What else do we got?
Shoot, yeah. What? Let's see. I am a lesson instructor, so if you know anybody who wants to learn drums, guitar, bass, ukulele,
Yes,
hit me up.
I was going to bring that up earlier,
Yeah,
too.
I work at Uncle Ike's Music. Shout out to Kevin and the Headleys and my coworkers for giving me a job for 10 years. I
yeah,
love what
dude.
I do.
Is that all you do for a living these days, or?
Yeah, I teach lessons, and then I work at the store too.
Okay.
Doing like online listings and
Yeah, of course.
shipping things. But yeah, I'm always looking for more students. I'm very passionate about education
Yep.
and teaching people stuff that I really enjoy. So
Shit, man.
let's do it.
All right, man. Well, I love you. Thanks for being here. That's
Glad
that
to
was
be
great.
here.
Yeah. It's always good to talk to you. I got. All right, Dave. I need to pull my notes out for the plugs. Jonn and Jonn Vinyl Tuesdays I talked about already. Well, we just missed the July First Fridays. That already happened. But the next First Fridays will be the Friday of August the 2nd. And then All Ages Open Mic will be August the 4th. So come for that. Glimmer Blinking Cut Hairs, I already mentioned that. That's going to be August 23rd, I believe. Also, Marzipan Mailbox.
Woo.
And Scott Cornwell, who used to run this place, in fact. Maybe a Realms show, my band with my buddy Ryan from Colorado. We'll see. We're working on it. September-ish. We'll see. Is that it? Next guest.
It's big.
We're going to do Denny Garcia on the next one. It's going to be awesome. I'm very looking forward to it. Legendary musician. Anybody that watches this is going to know who he is. I'm really looking forward to that. That's Tuesday, the 6th of August. Dave Hansen's birthday. Don't think I forgot, buddy.
Shout out.
But that's going to be amazing, and I can't wait for that. So, yeah, lots of good stuff coming up, Smokestack-wise, DAAC-wise. Stick around. Ben Dunegan, thanks again for being here, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
All right, we'll see ya. Thanks.
See me on Friday.
Come to the show Friday.